Do you know the difference between social media and major media? You'd be surprised. So there are thousands of people a month that reach out to us, and they've seen an ad, they've seen something, one of our clients on TV or major media of some kind, and they reach out to find out how they can do the same. Now, we start these calls by asking what is not working with your visibility today, because obviously if you get major media exposure, you can go from being invisible, anonymous, obscure, unseen, unheard, to being center stage, spotlight on you, known by the world for what you do and provide. But when we ask people, what's the number one thing that's not working with your visibility today, you'd be shocked. So often what we hear is, well, I just don't have that big of a following. Well, following where? Well, following on social media. Well, we're not talking about social media. We're talking about major media. And the crazy thing is, this happens again and again and again on these calls. And like the people we speak with, by and large, and they're business owners, experts, people who've created foundations or 501c3s, like bona fide world-changing experts, right? They're trying to build a following on social media. And so many people we speak to go, but I hate it. Well, then it would beg the question, so why are you doing it? Somebody somewhere told them the only way that they're going to get clients in the door, or they're going to get the donations for their foundation or what have you, the only way they're going to be able to have the impact and the influence and the income that they dream of is by using social media for it. I don't know where people have come up with this notion. A lot of gurus are out there teaching it. A lot of so-called experts are saying that's the strategy. But I can tell you, in my own expertise, not just myself, anecdotally, I've been on way more than 100. I've been interviewed way more than 100 times, mostly TV, but also things like People Magazine. And through my clients, countless clients who I've helped get thousands of media appearances, major media, I can tell you through that experience that what we find is social media is a dead-end strategy. Look, I use social media as well as anybody else. You're probably seeing this video on social media. That's not the point. The point is, once you've established your authority, once you have got credibility, authority, and trust, not by saying those things about yourself, but by major media saying those things about you, then, go play around on social media. But you're not at that point reliant upon it and hoping that it's going to deliver somehow the goods that's going to help you have the success in business that you want. You see, when we get on the phone with these people and we see they're trying to get clients using nothing but social media, there's a breakdown in one of two areas that we generally find. Either they don't have the right message, or they have no credibility, authority, and trust, and they're relying entirely on social media as their strategy to help somehow acquire clients. I mean, it's crazy. There's a client of ours, extraordinary woman. She created Dina. She created a foundation for suicide prevention and awareness. Now, every time her Facebook page gets up to about 10,000 followers, Facebook just summarily goes and evaporates it. And it was like the third time. And she came to us and she says, yeah, somehow I'm thinking this strategy doesn't work. I have an Instagram account that for one of my podcasts that was just deleted one day to the next. And I have a Facebook ads rep, and Facebook owns Instagram. So I've got a direct contact there. So I went and asked, what happened with the Instagram account? They're like, sorry, can't help you. That happens. Even like these guys, the so-called direct contact, they're like, I don't know what to tell you. A woman reached out to us a couple months ago. She had 165,000 followers on Instagram. She reaches out exasperated. Now, most people Most people reach out to us and they're like, I'm just trying to build a following. And you're like, how's it going? 212 people, and I went to high school with all of them. It's like, it's just languishing. It's going absolutely nowhere. But this woman, 165,000 followers on Instagram. She had spent the last decade doing everything she could to build this following. Rolled out finally her product, a lip pencil that you can buy at a drugstore under $5. Can't sell one. Can't sell one. All they do, the only action she can get these people to take is liking photos when she posts photos of big lips. She goes, that's it. Oh, could you imagine wasting a decade trying to get a following only to find you can't monetize them? But the truth is, her example is not that extreme. Like if I talk about wasting a decade, it took me a decade of hard work and trying to reverse engineer stuff, being in Hollywood, and still couldn't get in major media. I got my first appearance like a decade later. It was Monster.com mentioned me. Like what? In one regard, who? Although it was my first media mention, so I was like, yes! And finally from there, I figured out how to crack the code. And now it's what my team and I teach people. Top Hollywood producers on my team, top Hollywood publicists. I handle overall strategy. We've got journalists that put this whole thing together. But we teach people how to get out in front of the world so you don't have to fool around with nonsense, useless nonsense like social media. There was a woman I personally spoke to, and I usually am not the one on these calls. I've got an amazing team. There are 5 of them who get on these calls with people that reach out to us. This woman, Indian born, amazing. She teaches a really cool, she teaches something people love. I'm not going to go too much into it because I don't want to explain who she is. But she has a YouTube channel where she teaches her area of expertise. She's got 325,000 subscribers. But she cannot monetize them. Not $1. She finally got people reaching out to do brand partnerships, not even like ads, just brand partnerships. And they want to offer her a couple $100. She got 325,000 subscribers. Now look, some of my clients are influencers, but they don't become that way because of sitting around posting useless memes and crap on social media and grinding it out day after day, trying to come up with posts or shoot videos. No, they get themselves featured on major media. NBC covers them. The Today Show talks about them. Good Morning America. They get featured in their local newspapers and radio and local TV. They're just featured all over the place. And that's how they build their following. I spent no time whatsoever on Instagram. It's a shock that I have followers. But I have tens of thousands of followers. Not from any effort of my own. I maybe post once a month or something like that. But I get offered a lot of money, 5 figures, to post something for brands. This woman, and I have like a fraction of what this woman has. The Indian woman with the 325,000 subscribers, but she works a day job. She hates her day job. She wants to leave her day job. Look, building social media following isn't working for her. She admitted that. And I told her, what we found with all of the clients we have, over time, I said, what we found is that building social media doesn't work. It can be like in the case of Dina, they just evaporate your account one day to the next. It can be like the woman with the lip pencil and the 165,000 followers. Nobody wants to buy anything. How do you run a business then? So I told this woman with the YouTube channel, what we found is building social media following with the intention of that being the sole client acquisition strategy just doesn't work. So when would now be a good time to come up with a different strategy, one that actually works? And she says, and I quote, "But I'm almost at 330,000 subscribers." You know the definition of insanity, as they say? Doing the same exact thing and hoping for a different result? You think when she goes from 325 to 330,000 followers, she'll suddenly be able to monetize them? That isn't changing. It's not changing. A woman came to us. The people on my team spoke to her. She's an MD. She works a full-time job as a pediatrician in her practice. She comes home, feeds her own baby, puts her own baby to sleep, and once her own baby is asleep, she works on her side hustle. She posts on Facebook 4 times a day. As a pediatrician, who's got time for this? It's going nowhere. We told her so. Do you think this strategy is actually working? Do you think it might be time to find a strategy that actually works? You know what she asked my team member? Should I post on social media 5 times a day? That's the definition of insanity. One more time, right? I mean, literally every day people reach out to us. Thousands of them reach out a month. There's 5 amazing coaches on my team who get on the phone with them. And even though the people that we speak with every day are business owners, people who are experts, they've created foundations and businesses, sometimes they're practically in tears because they've been struggling for years to get the right clients in the door. So they grind it out on Facebook. It doesn't work. They spend years building a blog, churning out content, sending emails to their list. Crickets. Nobody. They go, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to start a vlog, like a video blog. So they shoot tons of videos, post them to YouTube and Instagram, and nobody watches them. So, okay, awesome. Now you're unknown, invisible and anonymous in multiple areas. And all the while, they're flushing money down the toilet on promoted posts on social media, boosting their posts. They're taking online classes supposedly to help them become an influencer and other outdated baloney-filled strategies. And all the while, they're hoping and praying that one of these useless strategies is someday, somehow, miraculously going to pan out for them, but they never do. And the clock is ticking. And I know from experience that trying to get clients through social media alone is a complete waste of time. And the experience I know that from is my clients. It's ineffective. It's time-sucking. It's soul-sucking. And here's the truth. You don't need a social media following to have an effective, successful, ass-kicking business. No, not necessary. All you need is the right message in front of the right audience via the right major media source to disseminate that right message to the right audience. That is it. That is what you need. How do I know? Because my team and I have helped our clients get featured in major media over 1,300 times this calendar year alone, 2021, since February 3rd, 2021. Our clients go from being invisible, anonymous, and unseen to dominating their marketplace. Look, don't get me wrong. We only work with proven experts who solve major problems for their clients in a revolutionary way. Our clients are the best of the best. Simply, they are outstanding at what they do. They work harder than anyone. They are committed, decisive, coachable, and resourceful. That's why they get out of their own way and get their business out in front of millions of the right audience using major media. That's how they're able to become the undisputed leader in their field. Think about that for a minute. Think about how things would change for you if you were recognized as the undisputed leader in your field. If you were able to have the right message and credibility, authority, and trust that came with not you posting on social media all day long. Aren't I great? Hell no. But major media, NBC News saying that you're so great. Mic drop. When NBC News says you're great, and Fox News says you're great, and CBS News says you're great, that's a whole different thing. That's an entirely different thing than you going, really, we're good. Just imagine if you could get out in front of your ideal audience like that. Millions of amount of time. No more posting on Facebook and YouTube and hoping clients are going to find their way to you through some stupid posts that you probably hate doing anyway. No more churning out blog posts, good God, or videos. No more grinding it out, trying to build a following. What a losing proposition, right? Particularly if, like, so many of the people that come to us, they're like, I'm doing it, but I hate it. Well, no wonder. Does it yield any results? So what this means for you right now is you can probably stop doing 99% of the time-wasting BS that you've been doing, and you can start focusing on the actions that are actually going to move the needle for you and your business. So you could finally have the influence, impact, and income that you deserve. So you could finally help people on the level that you dream. Are you ready? Well, when you are ready to step up, then book your free strategy session at cherylhunter.com/live. Look, this is not for everybody. You must be an expert with a proven track record of helping people with your expertise. You must be committed, decisive, coachable, resourceful, and done fooling around with BS strategies that don't work. You must be willing to do the work. If that's you, then we should talk. Go to cherylhunter.com/live. We will take great care of you. See you then.